Start of the final quarter here. Hawthorn by 3 and a free out of the middle for a push off the line. Yep, the boundary umpire off the ball has paid this free to Sam Mitchell for a push.
Just wait, Sam, wait, Sam, wait, Sam.
So left of screen in the first quarter, the Hawks.
The first goal, obviously, would be crucial for Hawthorn. That 3-point lead, a 9-point lead is a big lead.
Daniel
in
Kerr
a game like this
should have been penalised then for a 50. He was within the 5-metre protected arc, and there was no opposition player near
You
him.
cannot come front on.
got one-on-ones ahead now. You just get it in there.
Strat, high ball, bit of space here for Roughhead, has gone deep, and in front didn't need the space because this man got it done in Franklin.
Back here, Eric.
But Roughhead, has he just charged deep then, or has he gone deep as a...
He pushed deep as a ruckman on that occasion. It was good play because he put Natanui in a fullback situation he didn't want to be in. Good effort from Buddy. Able to stand tall and take that one on the second grab.
Well done by Stratton. He looked ahead. There might have been 4 or 5 pairs inside, but at least they were one-on-one. They occupied their defenders, and Buddy was able to get a jump at the football.
Franklin, to extend the margin, has put it across the face pretty badly.
It's just everyone's got the yips, haven't they? It's a yip off out there tonight.
That's a yip off, says Richo.
That was ordinary, Brian.
That's good, Richo. Here's Hearn. Elects the outer side here on this kick. Jordan Lewis been fantastic again. He's loving the designated leadership in the absence of Luke Hodge. Being a very impressive start to this year for him. Roughhead doing well to hold his ground on that occasion. Sewell, the handball out wide to Savage. Savage around the corner. It's a 2-on-1 in favour of the Eagles. Shepherd off the ball was well done. Looked like Hearn that applied the Shepherd for Mackenzie. There's Gaff. Around the boundary line. Buddy got him as he collected the ball. No free downfield. Natanui's recovery skills were extraordinary. On to Marston. Marston sees Hill. Beautiful hand there by Shaney.
Gee, that was important. If he didn't get a hand on that.
Seen a bit of that tonight, Richo.
Yeah.
Josh Gibson a couple of times has saved 2 goals at crucial stages. It was the one area of the game I thought West Coast were going to be too strong tonight. I thought their forwards would match up really nicely on the undersized Hawks defenders, but credit to Hawthorn. They've been able to handle all the big guns really well so far.
Looks like at the moment, Das says one-on-ones. Oh no, there's still the loose man back.
Natanui with a little toe poker through traffic. Guerra. Hawthorn have got some numbers out wide. Shields able to gather. Got a bit of time to sum up the kick. Glass all over his opponent, as he always is.
Yeah, at the moment, Bo Waters is loose for the West Coast Eagles, and it's Suckling who's the loose man, or is it Stratton at the moment who's just rolled over and playing that loose role in defence at the moment for Hawthorn?
That question you posed before, I wonder at any point if one of the coaches would go, right, we're just going to go one-on-one. And just keep rolling them around and get one-on-ones in your forward line.
So I think both forwards would back themselves. I reckon if you said to Franklin, I'll give you enough opportunities, he'd like his chances. And I think Josh Kennedy would be sitting on the other end saying, I haven't had clear run at all. I'd back myself for strength and size against Josh Gibson.
Mitchell. The Buddy Franklin. Pointed the square at half forward, slipped over. Hasn't been any rain since the first quarter, of course. Funny little handball, almost a sort of a throw thing over the top, wasn't it? Boys in the back row here thought there was going to be lots of rain tonight. Here's Schofield. Got out of trouble nicely. They're away. Scott Selwood wide. Got the loose. They are indeed. Ashton Hams to Darling. And this time, Shaney.
This is Ryan Charmakers. He was in a difficult situation, but he just played it wrong. He got horribly caught in between. He either had to go hard and get to the contest or stay on his opponent, Darling. He got 30 metres in the middle of nowhere, and that's why Jack Darling is going to have this shot on goal.
Only had the one lead in this game so far. Darling.
Do you reckon he likes these moments, BT?
I reckon he's enjoying the moment. Richo.
See if he drills it.
Going to have to kick it from about 48 metres out. Nice fluent run up. Kick on the way. He's got the journey. Crowder up. The moment it left the boot, they were off their seats and they said, thank you very much. The Eagles hit the front. So Jack Darling puts the West Coast in front by 2 points early in this last quarter. Good use of the ball out wide from West Coast to bring it back into Darling. Fans are loving what they are seeing at the moment.
West Coast on the back of that goal. They've made the substitution. Quinton Lynch is off the ground. McGinnity on the ground for a bit more run to give him some legs in this last quarter.
So finally,
Advantage.
ball goes immediately into the Hawthorn forward end of the ground. McKenzie gives chase, sort of push from Buddy. Giving away a few free kicks tonight is Buddy Franklin.
Push. Go free kick. That's it.
Giving away 6.
You had 2 Anthony's back pushing up.
We know he's in credit a lot because of the good things he does, but is 6 a touch too many for a player that does?
Just a touch.
Player on the ground before the ball even arrived there. Might have been Luke Shuey. Prittis in the back from Burgoyne.
There's actually one-on-ones all over the ground now. This is an opportunity for the Eagles.
Quickly to Cox. Cox on his non-preferred boot. Puts it out of bounds on the full.
Right there, that's it. Right there, yep.
So what have Hawthorn got here for the last 15.5 minutes of this game? Can the Eagles hold them off? In a very low-scoring game of football, just 6 goals kicked collectively.
BT, you asked the question, what have Hawthorn got? I'm putting my money on Cyril Rioli. He's had a quiet night so far, but a bloke of his class and excitement, he's the type of bloke who can break this game open in the last quarter and get him over the line.
We'll watch with great interest for the amazing Cyril. Selwood got a boot on ball and advances some 10 metres. Here's Gibson in front of Kennedy.
Well, there you go on that shot there. There's a nice bit of space out in front of Darling and his man. He's pointing, just someone coming back now.
If they can win possession of the ball and get a free use. And here they have Kerr. Darling didn't come to the fat side of the ground. He went back to traffic and Gibson got back and did really well in the end.
That's his role, Josh Gibson. The timing, it was perfect, wasn't it? He just didn't have another half a second to spare. Really brave to have he put his body on the line and help out his fellow defender.
Would have been Stratton that held off his man as well and gave Gibson time to get back. Was he taken forward in the tackle there, Lewis? Umpire said no. Kerr from the boundary went the banana but got too much of it too early. And John Worsfold says time for a message. Just bubbling over here. Still hasn't broken open this game like most others this year.
It doesn't look like it's going to because it's nothing to kick to. You just had to go long then.
Cox. Stood tall. Stretched the Dukes out. Now to Nat Nui. He's got a bit of a run at it over the top. Couldn't hold the mark. Prittis was front and centre. Boot to ball. Hasn't travelled the required. Darling went the impossible shot over the top. He's got all ball. Was it touched on the line? It was.
You can just see these big guys from the Eagles starting to look like they're going to have an impact. We know they're a great contested marking team. Cox just took one. Nat Nui nearly did. It might end up being the difference. A big contested mark inside forward 50. It's not going to break open this game.
Straight back over the head from Darling. Some sort of party trick. Must have been close with the goal umpiring decision as well. Here's Cyril. A low ball to Osborne. And the boundary line, the winner. But Hawthorn have now got into an attacking position. There is the goal. That was smothered anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant effort from Darling. The bicycle-style soccer kick over his head. High degree of difficulty on that one.
Burgoyne through some traffic. Got to Sewell. Sewell to Osborne. He infringed there quickly. Down to Lingy.
Hawthorn have made their substitute. Debutant Bradley Hill has come on the ground. I no doubt he'd be very excited to get involved. David Hale is the man off.
Talk about throw a guy in at the deep end. Crunch time in the game. Crunch quarter. Young man playing his first game. Comes on in the heat of a hot game.
Chippo Waters has been good, got back and won that free kick with his eyes on the ball. Such a courageous player in defence.
Well done by Osborne not to infringe by knocking the arms of Scott Selwood on that occasion. Very cleanly does. There is young Hill.
If you play on Waters, you've got to try and lead hard and into dangerous spots because he reads it so well. If you go somewhere where you're not going to attract the footy, he's just going to sift off every single time.
Here's Hill for his first touch. Got some speed, a little underground handball, turnover, McKinney. Marston says, come at me. He does, Jack turns, walks inside 50 and lets it rip with a ripping ball. Jack's got it. Jack Darling with consecutive goals here in the last quarter. Both of them from beyond 50 has put the Eagles up by 10 points. Biggest lead of the game here to West Coast.
Not many teams are going to come over to Western Australia and knock off the West Coast Eagles at home because they are a very talented side. Big opportunity for the Hawks tonight in a low-scoring game, but now is their moment. They really need to find something.
Biggest lead of the game here with the West Coast Eagles. This 10 points. Here's Gibson. Takes the mark safely on chest in defence. And they're going to have to be incredibly poised here, the Hawks, and that's not a great start.
Well, that man's on the bench. He's had a really quiet night, Cyril Rioli, and I think Alistair Clarkson would wander over and say, hey, Cyril, if we are to win this, you're the man that needs to start providing something really special.
Josh Hill on that occasion flying and missing. He is the cousin of Bradley, who's debuted here tonight. Cyril saying, get me on, get me on. There is Bradley Hill. Cox and Natanui tangle for one of the rare occasions in the ruck. Pritis. Umpire deemed it a legal tackle from Mitchell, who tried to extract it in hot circumstances. This is a full-on fight fest here at the moment.
Strap it on your legs.
Every single player on the ground was within about 30 metres of that stoppage.
Well, there's every player at the moment, as you say, Richo, is within one decent kick of the footy, aren't they?
Yeah.
So really are within a quarter of the ground at the moment, the whole play. Pritis somehow finds a bit of space, got boot to ball and not accurate, but under pressure. So just under 12 minutes remaining. There are the players spread out across about a half of the ground now.
Play on!
Burgoyne, big kick around the corner that gathers pace along the ground. Picked up by Schofield. Schofield from 55 metres out. Touched on the line by Gibson.
I think Gibbo made the right choice there. If he had tried to mark that football, that was coming. Big floaty stinker of a kick, and he made the right decision to punch it through because it could have bobbled out of his hands on the goal line.
Well, this is where the game has an opportunity to break up because the Hawks will sense they need to get the next goal and start taking some more risks.
Yeah.
And if they score at that end, it will open the game one way, and obviously the defensive structures can start to break open right now.
And there's the first of them with the Guerra play on and the kick, trying to penetrate the press, but not successful. 2-on-1 as they get back here in some numbers. Nice knockdown to Gibson. Natanui lurking dangerously. Guerra ran it through. Umpire said that's okay. There was apparent pressure.
It's getting to a stage for the Hawks can't concede another behind. It'll be out to 3 goals.
Well, they've got to kick 2 at the moment. You're right,
They've
Richard.
only kicked 3 for the match, so
Yep.
they've got to take a chance now, as Das just said.
It's a matter of they can just get out of this quarter of the ground. At the moment, the Eagles' defensive machine is just working absolutely brilliantly.
It's going to take someone like Cyril or Buddy around this stoppage to be able to win it and use their pace and acceleration to get out of that congested area, because it's locked right down at the moment.
A triple Hawthorn change off the bench, as you would have just seen on your screen there. Cox over the back to Kerr. Kerr the handball to the running Gaff. Gaff on the left side. No one home. Guerra gets there to take a diving and sliding. They've got to bust it open on the other side of the ground or through the middle. They can't come down the line. Guerra no choice in the end. Franklin is there. Look at the Eagle numbers though. Kerr able to pick it up, give it to Cox. Sometimes think Cox should handball in that situation. He turned around, kicked himself long to Nat Nui. Schoenmaker's pushed it forward. Darling's got it wrapped up in the tackle. So
Switch.
it must have been at this end of the ground for the last 6 or 7 or 8 minutes.
And it's a credit to West Coast and the way they have been able to just limit Hawthorn's ability to exit defence. We know now, with the time against the Hawks, they're going to have to start attacking through the middle part of the ground. But you saw that last one from Guerra, and you called it perfectly, BT. He wanted to, but there just wasn't an option for him.
Yep. Straight up, no freeze.
Yeah, BT, it's 10-2 inside 50s in the last 5 minutes.
Kerr along the ground. I thought it was a free kick in the ruck, but Kerr's got it. Well, Kerr gets the goal and brings the crowd to their feet, because they sense things are looking very, very good at the moment. And they are very, very satisfied. Kerr from the stoppage. 3 West Coast goals in a row in the last quarter here. Hawthorn have not kicked one. Three in the ruck, probably not. Looking from that angle, Kerr was able to get on the end of it anyway. And West Coast 3 consecutive goals here in the last quarter to give them a 3-goal lead. 18 points. Rioli and Mitchell combining out of the middle. The first time they've been able to go forward. Mitchell from 50 metres out. Offline.
He's had a great night, Daniel Kerr. We know he's dangerous around those stoppage situations. 31 touches, 8 clearances, and he probably needed to step up a little bit tonight. Hasn't been great to start the year. Shuey's obviously gone off injured. I know he's still out there, but he's not having the impact since he hurt his shoulder, so it was important for Curry tonight.
Just building his year nicely, Kerr. Hasn't been incredibly impressive in the opening 3, but he's come to play here tonight, got plenty of it. And
just watching Daniel Kerr up close, boys, it's fantastic to watch at stoppages. So good at using his body, always on the move. If you're a young player learning how to play at stoppages, watch Daniel Kerr.
There's Rioli, another one that's good to watch in this situation. Pritis, that was a high-ish tackle that he never got.
Man here, West Coast free kick. Jeffy, go through, Jeff. Hang on, wait. Fading out of zone 3, downfield here.
One off the ball there. Osborne just pushing Darren Glass away from the contest. Free kick.
Big crowd in tonight, over 40,000 and 80 people here tonight. Fantastic result. These two sides both will be, you would think, battling at the right end of the year. It's Franklin trying to do some smart work with the feet. Ball still hasn't gone out fully, now it has.
That's the exciting part about this West Coast side. We spoke about Daniel Kerr. He's just building his season nicely. I reckon Darren Glass is a bit the same. Starting to get into the really good form. Quentin Lynch has been quiet tonight. I think Cox has got a fair bit more upside in his game as well.
Still enough time in this for the Hawks with 8 3/4 minutes. I know it's got to bust wide open for them to do it, but it's not insurmountable at all. 8 3/4 minutes in a normal game is plenty of time to come back from a 17-point deficit. Sewell through some traffic carefully. Need to score that first of the goals quickly, though. Osborne trying to keep it locked in. Have to flick it out here, or they'll be pinged holding the ball. It eventually comes out. Amazing how it finds a way out. Prittis just gave it to McGinnity. He said, here, do something with this hot ball. Josh Hill to Ashton Hams. Got running support wide, didn't need it. Long ball, Kennedy. What Schoenmaker's got? He grabs the ball, and he did incredibly well. And the kick is spot on to Mitchell.
Well, that's what happened because they're so intent on scoring Hawthorn. They've opened up their back half of the ground and nearly got burnt on the turnover. They just have to keep pressing.
It's been good, Schoenmakers. He's had his critics, but he's done the job tonight on Kennedy, and that was a great win one-on-one. He's done that on a number of occasions.
Stagnant down on the forward line. Franklin off hands, picked up by Bruce. Here's Roughhead against Cox. Rioli near the boundary line. Something special, and he's got it. Rioli's got the impossible goal. Working along the ground. Sensational. Cyril Rioli. Lingy, you called for it, you got it, and he gets them back within 11, and this game is not done. Unbelievable. Cyril Rioli. First goal of the last quarter, coming with 7.5 minutes remaining for the Hawks.
You go to the players of high quality to do something extraordinary. He's had a really quiet night, Cyril Rioli. The take at full speed was an unbelievable effort, and then the goal and the finish, that is why he's such a dangerous player.
Out of the middle, they come straight back, the Hawks. They're not cooked with yet. Ball out wide, and they'll be happy with that result in the end. Let's have another look at that Rioli kick and see the work that he gets on the ball. Sometimes they say, don't kick it along the ground. Well, tell the modern player like Cyril that you don't kick it along the ground, or Buddy for that matter.
They're full-time footballers, and they do spend a lot of time at training practicing those sort of kicks along the ground.
Gee, Selwood got a head-high one then. I know he went over pretty easy, but he did get whacked in the head.
Simon said you ran into him, that's all. Simon said you ran into him.
The umpire initially said I was on the other side of the pack and I couldn't see. I think that's the best explanation. Selwood was stunned. And a few choice words in there. Why not?
Straight up, watch
I
those
feel
elbows.
for both Marie and Bryce Selwood, their parents, they're here tonight. Watching those boys play must be a very, very stressful time for those parents.
Yeah, they get in where it's hot and dirty, don't they? Stratton to Sewell, has a bit of a look around the corner. Got it to Suckling. Suckling to Lewis. Now Lewis kicks inside 50. An opportunity here for the Hawks on the rebound. Nothing on. Hams did well. Picked up by Shuey. Goes out wide and right through the interchange goes. Umpire said that's deliberate. Gotta be kidding.
I can't have that.
That is the most unbelievably baffling decision.
That's the rule, boys. That's the interpretation they play these days. If you had to watch the DVD, you know that's exactly what they're going to play.
That was one thing that was different about it, Darcy. It was not deliberate. He actually kicked it to open space. Got a shocking bounce on the ball and it went out.
I'm not saying I like the rule, but it is the rule.
Darcy, you're not serious, are you?
Oh, come on, Darcy.
He's gone straight sideways.
No.
One bounce out of bounds. Under the interpretation, that will always be paid. You mightn't like it. I don't like it, but that's the rule.
You're looking to voice the video for the umpires next year, I reckon.
Probably should have done it this year, Brian, to be honest with you, but that's the rule. You two should watch it.
I would never. I don't agree with it. I'd argue that all day with you, Darcy.
Time starting to become a factor here now. Down to 6 minutes. Hawthorn have had the play in the last 4 or 5 minutes, though. Here's Cam Bruce. And they've got the loose player. Shaney through the middle of the ground, launches the high ball. Rioli's the target. Look at them get back. He beat a couple of them, and Cyril has a chance to get it to a one-kick game.
He had no right at all against three. Put one hand out to get hold of that mark on the second attempt. He's a genius.
And have a look at the guys that were there. Natanui, Glass, all Australian defenders. He's outsmarted all of them.
He's got a bit of cramp here as well, Cyril. He lines up now. He is directly in front, no more than 30 metres out. Cyril Rioli off one step. It was lackadaisical, but it's there. Cyril's got it, and the Hawks are back. I think that Cyril probably didn't run in then more than 1 or 2 steps because he didn't want to cramp. Just the one-step run up.
I reckon the umpire was overly aggressive then, Brian, in calling him to play on. He gave him a 20-second call almost immediately as soon as he'd taken possession, and it put him under more duress than he needed to be.
Wonder if that young man there knows what's going on.
You boys have been asking me to give you something all night. Well, I tipped Cyril Rioli is the man who might get Hawthorn over the line, so I'm going to claim that one, BT.
You have come to play tonight, Cameron Ling. Outstanding effort by you. Jordan Lewis around the ground. They're down by 5 points here now, and they're working it forward. Gaff gets on the end of it. Little kick, gain 30, nice bounce. You wonder how that can't be deliberate as well then, based on the last kick.
Well, on Darcy's interpretation, it would have been, but
It's not my interpretation, boys. It's the DVD at the start of the year.
Well, the umpires have still got to interpret it correctly. But anyway, we'll move on. Darcy for the good of things here. As Hill backed under it. Comes out. Suckling. Could have gone from home. Watch Cyril do his work here. He's one-on-one. Gets around Selwood. He's got it from the same position. And he's missed to the left. Oh, boy, Cameron Ling. You are all over this. What do you reckon, Darcy?
You could just see the whites of Selwood's eyes there going, oh, no, I can't do anything here. He has got the ability to run past me. He tried to corral him. Just amazing ability to impact the game, Richard.
And the handball of Franklin to release Suckling then was pretty good too. So the two superstars getting involved.
It takes the likelihood of a draw probably further away here because that point hadn't have been conceded. West Coast gone to get another one. They would have been able to knock it through for a point. But here we are now with Selwood. There have been 5 score changes in this game here tonight. Roughhead to Lewis. Selwood to Gaff, and Gaff now to McGinnity. McGinnity says to Schofield, come on, you're a 400-metre runner from down at Geelong Way. I'm going to put it out in front and you beat Suckling. Suckling did well, though.
I thought that was going to be paid as well for a rush ball across the boundary line. 3 minutes and 58 seconds left in this contest.
You got Big Dean Cox has now positioned himself loose along with Waters, so there's 2 behind the football now for the Eagles.
If you're Hawthorn, do you go and man up Dean Cox in that situation?
Yeah.
Because he is just dropping back, a kick behind the ball here, and he's going to gobble up anything that comes out of the action quickly. Osborne trying to bullock his way out of there like a mad bull.
Yeah, I think it's time to do it, BT. If you're Alistair Clarkson, you can't allow 2 loose back. And as we can see, Dean Cox is the man just sitting there in all that space.
Well, Hawthorn have got 2 loose back at the other end, and
there it is, BT. He's like the goalkeeper. Dustin Fletcher does it so well.
There he goes. There goes the Hawthorn man.
Showmaker's going to man him up.
And West Coast follow with another player to still make it one in their favour. How about that for tactics and smarts from the players? Whitecross. Gibson Eddie's high on the ball. Burgoyne went hard and first and gets the free.
Is it 50?
Has to be, doesn't it?
Continuous plays are called. So Waters, as you called, is rolling back to still maintain loose. Great effort from Burgoyne. Got low and hard and earned a free kick.
To beat a Selwood in and under is no mean feat.
Doesn't happen very often. Well, Brent Guerra is the loose against Waters the loose.
Gee, that's a risky kick.
Has to get involved here, Guerra.
Stratton, Mark, so not panicking here. The Hawks, 3 minutes left. Can the Eagles hang on? Kick out wide to Buddy and McKenzie. Up they go. Buddy a couple of grabs, couldn't get it. Tap on here by Suckling. Hams wouldn't mind the boundary. Boy, had his head taken off. Free kick against Buddy, number 7. Two minutes, 53.
Well, I think Guerra just went off with cramp, so it was a bit hard for him to push forward.
Ball in neutral territory. Natanui flies, couldn't stick it. Pritis got it to Scott Selwood, kept it rolling. Whitecross didn't get enough of the ball. Osborne jumped on it. Hill tries to rip it out. No winner there. Oh! Both players had hands on the ball, trying to pull it apart. How can one be in the wrong?
Yeah,
extraordinary decision. Horrendous decision.
I've never seen that before. Two players for...
That is an unbelievable, perhaps game-changing decision. West Coast have now got it locked in their forward end as a result. Can they keep it there?
Let's take a look at that call again from the umpire. You can see great contest, climbing it over the top master. You've got the substitute Hill trying to roof it out of hip arms as well. How can you possibly play that one way?
Number one, who's in possession? If you don't know who's in possession, how can you penalise someone for incorrect disposal or not disposing of it?
You can't.
Oh, quick little snap out of the pack by Hill, misses.
That's the best result for the Hawks, though. Now they get possession of the football, and one straight kick puts them in front.
Big monkey. Looks like he's going to eat Clarko there at any stage. We've got 1:54 remaining. Hale the sub out. Guerra's on the bench.
Suckling's an enormous kick, and he's just signalling. Well, looked like he's going to go long. He's gone short in his yarn. It might come unstuck.
Oh, boy! Bang goes Young. Kennedy able to pick it up. I reckon he can get the journey here from 65 out. Nat Nui in the goal square. Punched away. Off hands. Josh Hill should have been a little harder there. And now they squirted out the Hawks.
Nat Nui.
Incorrect disposal. No, in the back.
Oh, in the back.
Jordan Lewis free. Just when we thought it was going to go the Eagles' way.
Josh Gibson was huge then, his contest on the goal line to clear it out.
Here's Cyril, got Prittis in the tackle. 1:15 remaining in the game here.
How about Cyril Rioli's last 15 minutes of this game? He's got cramp as well. So the Nat Nui chase and tackle and
worked him forward.
Pushed him in the back.
Now Rioli's down in the foreground there. You can see with cramp. He's not going to take any further part. Wonderful tap by Roughhead to Lewis. Lewis to Franklin. Great mark at the back.
Jeez, what an effort that was from McKenzie at that stage of the game to outmark Franklin.
Look at Cyril. Looks like a trailer with a broken axle.
That was his 11th mark, 27th disposal, McKenzie, on Franklin.
Selwood, Adam in possession of the ball. 45 seconds. Kick to the contest. Roughhead's under the ball. At the back is Gibson. Now they've got a chance, the Hawk. Sewell gave it off to Lewis. Lewis, a high ball. Eagles have got numbers. Cox, he can milk this now. 28 seconds.
He's a smart player, Dean Cox. He put himself in exactly the right spot. Capable of taking a high mark, as we know. He just got perfectly in the right defensive setup.
Cox down the line. Gibson with the thump. They need clean ball through the middle. I reckon the Eagles are resilient enough to hold this up. 7 seconds and ticking. And the Eagles are going to win their 4th consecutive game of the year.
It's been a low-scoring game, but it's been an intriguing game. It's been pretty good to watch.
Unbelievable action. How good are these two teams? Siren sounds. 40,000 out of the seats. Say, wow-wee. What about that? Unbelievable story. West Coast win.